Well, recently, cattle producers in North Georgia gathered to learn tips on how to make sure their herds stay healthy. It was all part of the Mountain Beef Cattle Field Day held at the Georgia Mountain Research and Education Center up in Blairsville. The Monitors Mark Wildman has the story.
The Georgia Mountain Research and Education Center, located in the beautiful North Georgia mountains, is a University of Georgia facility designed to boost North Georgia agriculture. The Mountain Beef Cattle Field Day brought producers from the area together to learn many different ways the farmers can better manage their herds.
It's an annual event we have since there are a lot of beef cattle producers here in this area, and we do a lot of beef cattle research here, targeted beef cattle research. This is a meeting to get producers together to learn more about what the current trends are in beef cattle research.
The event brought a wide variety of experts from the beef industry together as well to talk about topics such as antibiotics, bovine respiratory disease, mineral supplements, and other issues that can help the farmers boost their bottom lines.
It seems like we have problems every year, especially during the springtime when the grass isn't quite up and growing well yet. Even though it's warm today, typically up in this area we don't see our last hard freeze until May. So we're going to have some cold weather yet, probably the next 2 or 3 weeks sometime, that these beef cattle will be exposed to. So these discussions today on antibiotics are going to be a real benefit that our farmers will be able to take home and adapt on their own particular farm to help maintain the health of their cattle programs.
Cows and mountains seem to go hand in hand, but the cattle do much more than make for just a pretty drive. They are very important to this area's economy as well.
It's worth somewhere around $1.5 million a year just to Union County. We probably have somewhere around 4,000 or 5,000 head of beef cattle in this county. People used to grow a lot of row crops up here on some of these steep grounds, but over the years they've recognized that soils are very erodible and that sort of thing, so they've switched and started growing more beef cattle over the years, because on a steep mountainside it's hard to plow that year in and year out, so they just grass it and put beef cattle on it, and as a result we have a strong beef industry in the county.
Beef is very important for Georgia in general, because beef is one of the top 10 commodities that we grow here in Georgia. And agriculture being the #1 industry in the state of Georgia, and when you got a commodity that ranks in the top 10 as far as farm gate, it is very important economically and as far as for the agriculture in general.
One key project the Research Center works on every year is the stocker feeding trial, and farmers come a long way to learn from this important study.
What they do with these stocker beef feeding trials is they try different byproducts, newer sources of feed, or different combinations for people to use, and they try to find things that are available across the state. And when you have corn prices as high as they are, and it's really hard on beef producers across the state, these trials are very important to our producers up here in northeast Georgia, and our producers, our local producers in North Georgia and up in North Carolina, have become very dependent upon this, and people come from all over 3 states just to see these stocker feeding trials and the results each year. And as a result of these, many of our farmers are feeding byproducts that they never heard of years ago, but now they feed them on a regular basis. So this is something that's very important for our local beef producers.
The Georgia Mountain Research and Education Center staff works very hard to share the knowledge of UGA with farmers and other citizens to spread the good message of Georgia agriculture. Reporting from Blairsville, I'm Mark Wildman for the Georgia Farm Monitor.